Hi everybody, welcome to this week's energy report. This is for the week of February 17th. I am your guide, Tammy Lynn Chambers, through the energies of the week, and I have some fun things planned for us throughout the week around the theme for the energy of the week ahead. We are going to be spending this week at Little Leprechaun Cottage. So this is another part of my magical realm, Ravensdale. If you've been following my my videos, then last Friday, we were at FAIRYWING Healing Center, which is also in Ravensdale. But this week, I know I haven't pulled any cards yet, but I know that the theme is all going to be about rejuvenation and rest and replenishment. So those are the cards I'm going to be expecting to see. And Little Leprechaun Cottage is an apothecary. It's a healing gardens and just a place where you can go and rest and just really bask in your own well-being, which I think it's so fitting to be in this etheric location for this coming week. And as you know, today is the day that Mercury stations direct, although if you are sensitive to energy like myself, then I felt as soon as Mercury it went into its shadow phase, a week or so ago, I already was like feeling it. And Mercury rules my sun, so I guess I'm more sensitive to it there as well. So, and whenever Mercury goes retrograde, we know it's all about, everything is RE, because it appears to be going backwards, even though technically it's not. But it's all about, when it does go retrograde, it's all about everything that begins with the letters RE is what Mercury retrograde kind of stands for. So reviewing things, replenishing, rejuvenation, rest, relaxation, you name it. But it's mainly about that and reviewing areas of your life where, you know, it's like things could be maybe done a little bit differently, but always for your best and highest good. And I used to like really hate Mercury retrograde because it always brought up all these challenges. But as you are clearing those things, you come to realize that more and more Mercury retrograde is a time when you can really get deep down into your own soul's longing, your own soul's passion, your own soul's worth. And you can do a lot of things to improve your situation or your circumstances just by taking that time out during the retrograde to, like we said, do all the RE words. And those things will be brought to you for you to take a look at, for you to contemplate, for you to, like I said, review and decide, like, is this the best way to do this? Is this the best thing for me to do right now? Is there another way that would bring me more joy and more peace? And that's kind of all about what the universe wants for us. It wants us to be living in joy, living in peace, living our passion, living our dream. And in order to do that, sometimes there's many layers of things that have to be healed and brought to the surface and released in order for us to be able to do that. So I'm going to pull a few cards for us. I'm also moving the weekly pick a card to the middle of the week. So we'll be doing something around well-being as the pick a card. And then this coming Friday, when I do my lives on YouTube, our live we will be at Little Leprechaun Cottage, and I'll be doing medical intuitive work for people and pets. So hopefully, if you are interested in that, or if you saw last Friday's live and you liked kind of the format of that, then you'll turn your, I guess you have to subscribe to turn your notifications on, but you'll subscribe and turn your notifications on so that you'll know when that live happens. I try to go live Friday afternoons. It's just what works best for my schedule. I know it may not be best for everybody to be on live in the week during the day, but right now it's just what works best for me. And hopefully as we get more community going here, we can kind of table that around when it's you know, when more folks can be on with me live, because I really want to start working with people individually on the lives and doing more of the live readings. And like I said, this week it'll be medical intuitive work for both people and pets. So doing those readings, those mini readings on the live. All right. So this week's stone is, this is what I'm working with. Oh, it kind of looks like a little heart too. All these things I just find. So this is a little piece of Dalmatian jasper. Isn't he so cute? So he's all about finding your joy, finding your peace, just your childlike wonder, and just kind of doing what you want to do, finding your passion and getting more to the heart of you. So this week is all more focused on less outward focus and more of an inward focus on really thinking about like what you feel like is right and best for you, okay? And pets, excuse me, pets also love this crystal around them. This is a little bit more, even though it's very high vibe in the joy, peace, harmony kind of vibe, it's not such a high vibrational stone as some of your lighter crystals, like your amethysts and your apopholites and all of those that are really high vibrational, which sometimes I find the pets, those kind of crystals, it makes them a little antsy. It just depends on the pet. But I find most pets like this one to be around them. So if you have any Dalmatian jasper or any kind of earthy stone, earth-based stone like a red stone, or a brown stone, then those are the ones that I would just recommend. And it's not necessarily just me recommending it, because this is all channeling through me from Universal Source Energy and from my healing guides and my spiritual support team as well. So it's not just me like saying that out of the blue. So we are channeling energy here, Universal Life Force energy, and we are always when I'm on and any of my work that I do, we are in sacred space. So I put this stone down. I am going to take a drink of water, and this is another thing, like really staying hydrated this week, really staying grounded. You may find you're drawn to make a change to your eating habits. I don't like to call them diets, really, because in my case, like, we're not looking to necessarily lose weight per se, like this isn't like some sort of fad diet, but you may just be guided intuitively as you go within to change some of your eating habits. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not touting any specific plan or any specific way of eating, because I think it's specific to you. And I think on Friday in our live, if you're on, that's another thing we can take a look at is, you know, are you being guided? Maybe you have been thinking about doing something and you're not really sure, like eating a certain way is right for you. Then we're going to bring in the healing angels and Archangel Raphael and all of that into our live to help with that as well, if you need some guidance on should I be eating a different way. I just made a big change myself. I'm going back to plant-based eating. Over the winter time, I felt like I needed a little bit heavier foods, but I started to get into foods that I knew weren't as good for me vibrationally, and I was eating more meat and dairy again, and I could just tell in my skin and everything, like, just didn't feel right with that way of eating. And so I made set the intention again and asked my guides, like, please help me to do this, because I really do feel good when I'm on it. And then they brought me a really beautiful YouTube channel, and I'm really loving it, called Pick Up Limes. And it's all about plant-based eating, and just feels like a very high vibrational channel. lots of amazing information and recipes. And so if you're interested in that, I would go check her channel out, because I was drawn to it right away. It just flashed. I'd never seen it before, and as Spirit always sends you something, it just kind of came up in my recommended, and it looked very bright and beautiful. And when I went into it, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I've been looking for. So that's how that always happens. So let's draw a few cards for the week. And I'm using, again, my deck, just my little TLC for the Soul deck. And I'm using this, again, this Working with the Elements deck, the big, giant 56 card deck. So just shuffling. I'm expecting to see cards about health and well-being, but okay. No, we got the Karma card. Okay. From my deck. And let's see what we're going to get from this other deck. It's so hard to shuffle this deck because it's so large. There's so many cards. And I do like the smaller decks. It's just easier for my hands to work with, but holy smokes. Oh, wow. Okay, come on. What do we want to know for this week? What's going on this week? What's the energy of this week? What does Spirit want us to know? Okay, so they're telling me just turn the top card. Oh, here we go again. We keep getting these cards. Rose Fairy has come out. I think it came out last week too. So it's all, this card is all about self-love and self-care. Red roses, all about grounding. This is red and green. So our root chakra and our heart chakra is something that we'll be working with this week. This is also, I see it as the moon, but it's just like spirit light. And this is like a little rose fairy. So this card is always about getting outside in nature, self-love and self-care because of the red roses. And how does that tie into karma? What they're saying is reconnections this week, all about karmic reconnections. So you may be someone from your past, maybe coming back into your life again so that you can clear up some past life karma with them. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that it has to be some sort of like tumultuous like love relationship or whatever. I mean, you could just inadvertently meet someone on the street that is a karmic contract that was set up before you even incarnated, and it could have just been that the quote-unquote setup was that you would just bump into somebody inadvertently. You would have like a little short conversation with this person, and this person would mention something to you that would help you on your current path, and then that person is gone. That's still a karmic connection, even though it seems just random and quick. So start becoming more aware of things like that. Chance meetings with people where you it's just this one-off discussion, but something comes up during the discussion that either reminds you of something, makes you reminisce about something, makes you think or review something in your life. It's all about you this week. And so just don't be surprised if you do that. Like if you run across someone inadvertently, someone you just bump into, and a short conversation strikes up that causes you to, review or reminisce or whatever. So recollect, and that is also it's also a karmic contract, albeit a little short one and not one like a long relationship. And I like this little one because it's a contract, but it's signed love. So it's all the universe's way and your guides and your angels' way of helping you along your journey path and leading you where you need to go on this breadcrumb trail, even though you may feel like it's this set of circumstances that aren't related to each other at all. Okay? And then you look back later on, like kind of at the end of Mercury retrograde, they're saying you'll look back and you'll be like, oh, that's how all of those things kind of fit together. And that was the lesson or the meaning behind this Mercury retrograde for me. And then when the retrograde ends, I think it's March the 9th or whatever, that it goes direct again, then you'll kind of understand all that the past few weeks was about, and you'll be ready to move forward again. So I like those cards. They're always good cards, but I just expect a slowing down time, and that's kind of what happens at Little Leprechaun Cottage. It's just a slowing down. We get out in nature more. We spend time in the garden. We just enjoy the little things. So it may not seem so grandiose, and the message may seem simple and just to the point. And your time, and I invite all of you, and we will go there in meditation on Friday, but I invite all of you to, if you'd like to, you can set the intention during your meditations to go to Little Leprechaun Cottage and just hang out there on the grounds, in the gardens. Inside the cottage is where all the apothecary items are at, all the potions and serums and anything that might be needed, the herbs, anything that might be needed for you on your journey, which is part of what we'll be doing during the medical intuitive meditation on the Friday live. Will be, if you're on live, I'll do one for the collective, but if someone's on live and they want a little reading, then we will just recommend things for you, and then we'll take it from there. So let me just tap into my team and see if there's anything more they want me to share about this coming week. Okay. Yep, they're saying that is it. So again, I invite you to join me at the end of the week for the live. I'm also going to be doing a pick a card on Wednesday for something having to do with personal well-being, so we'll have that. And like I said, join me at the cottage in your meditations, or you can set the intention to go there in dream time. Ravensdale is a vast array. It's a magical realm filled with many different locations and places that are all set up for different intentions, and they do different things when we go there. So I'm going to make a map of it at some point because it's pretty well established. I've been going there in meditation and building upon it for quite some time now, for many years now. So most of it is kind of built out per se, and a lot of the different places show up in my books, but it's just kind of a fun place to visit. And if you are interested in the FAIRYWING Healing Center, then you can go back to, I think it was the video right before this one, I can link to it, and you can do that meditation and go there. And we went to the Healing Grotto and spent time with the Sisters of the Rose and did some healing last week around that. So that is all I have for this week's energy report. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.